Joe Scott, thanks for taking the time. Are you starting to get excited about an actual basketball season coming to fruition here?
Yeah, I mean, we've been practicing. It's been different just because of all the circumstances, but it's been a huge plus that we were able, for the first time, I think, get our guys in the summer a little bit due to the circumstances. Because of that, we were able to do things all through August and all through September, and really, especially in the first year, really get a lot accomplished, really be further ahead. And now that we're, here in October, it's really helping sort of our practices per se, just because we're ahead and our practices are they're very much more streamlined than you would think, in year one. Our guys' knowledge is way higher, and, we can see that. So I think that it enables myself and coaches to really, okay, we're already on to this. We got to get good at this. And our guys have been really good. So as you say that, we just got to hope things sort of can stay on the path they're on. And if they do, then we're getting ready for games Thanksgiving weekend. And, when that comes, then I know there'll be a lot of excitement from everybody. Right now it's still just sort of, let's make sure we're doing what we can do to make sure we keep getting better, and hopefully things keep progressing the right way.
You've been able to, I'm assuming, look at some of last year's tape maybe. You've been practicing with these players. Do you like the core group of players that you have on this team?
Yeah, one thing I don't do, Brian, is I don't look at last year's tape to see our players, and make determinations and judgments on them, because we're not going to be, they're getting coached on a completely different, way, and so anything they did in the past doesn't really matter. And what it is, it's an even playing field out there, and each player gets coached by us. It doesn't matter if there's 21 guys, we're coaching 21 guys, and who's good at what we're asking them to be good at, who's getting better, and we're going to do that all the time. That being said, I may watch film to look at Nevada to see who will be playing in our league and what are some things they do. But overall, I like to use your word, I like our core group of guys. I think, obviously we have A.J. Walker with tons of experience. I think Chris Joyce has experience. I think for the other guys, Chris Joyce, Keaton Van Solen, then Amika Akaya to even more of an extent. But any other quote-unquote veteran, I like them. I like everything they've done. I just think there's going to be a learning curve of being counted upon. We're going to be counting on those guys. Air Force's success, our ability in year 1, 2, whatever success we have, is going to come from those guys accepting the responsibility and taking the responsibility of being counted on and being counted upon for a team's success, versus being a 6th, 7th, or 8th guy. Two completely different things. So that's going to be their learning curve, and I've already addressed that with them. So again, just because you might be moving up into these roles doesn't mean what I'm talking about is just going to happen. No, you have to make it happen. You have to accept that responsibility. I think those guys possess it. They just haven't had the experience and in that regard, and that's going to be a big part of our development as a team. And then also, that's so critical because after those guys, you then get guys that have played even less, been counted upon even less. But the more those guys accept that responsibility, the more the next 3 and 4 guys raise their level, and that's what makes a team. That's why basketball is a team game. The more players 3, 4, and 5 do their jobs, the more 6, 7, and 8 come along. The more players 3, 4, and 5 don't, 6, 7, and 8 struggle. So that's going to be a big part of our process. But I do like our core group of guys. I like every guy. Every guy is giving us everything they have. We give them everything we have as coaches every day, and every one of those guys is giving us everything they have. And in the end, that's really all you can really ask for as a coach.
That's good to hear. When you got hired, however many months ago it was, despite looking through the COVID fog, there was a lot of fanfare that came with it. Obviously, you've won a Mountain West Conference championship in men's basketball. No one else has done that here. But this is a lot different time, or is it? You tell me. How much has basketball changed? How much has the conference changed? How much has even Air Force basketball changed?
I think a big thing, Brian, is, and I think this is, everybody has their own versions or views. I think the key to being as successful at Air Force is not thinking about one of those things that you said. None of those things have anything to do with Air Force basketball. Air Force basketball is what Air Force basketball does. What Nevada's doing, what the Mountain West is doing, what any team in our league is doing, has nothing to do with what we do. And I think that's true in every sense, meaning you just have to approach it that way. Because, people say, oh, there's transfer, oh, this changed, that changed. Nothing's changed here. We're going to have our guys, whatever that number may be. We're going to recruit them. We're going to coach them. They got to be good at what we do here at Air Force. We started off, we talked earlier about Tommy Belair's. And, our players have to be good at adversity. Our players have to be competitors. Our players have to not have things bother them, get them down. They got to have this toughness, this inner drive. That's got nothing to do with transfers. That's got nothing, I hate, here, that's what this is about. And I really believe here, doing it that way, that resonates with our players. That resonates that it's about them. It's about them, it's about what they do, it's about how much they give, it's about how much we give them as coaches, how much we do it together. And that's, we call it Air Force strength. That's our only shot. You know what I mean? If we do it that way, we're going to be as good as we can be. If we concentrate on and let any of those other things come into what we do on a daily basis, we're beating ourselves. And I've said since I got here, we're not going to beat ourselves. We're going to be good at that, and that's our best way when we go play San Diego State, to put us in the best position to beat them. And, that's what we got to do here. And I'm not saying it's easy, but that's what the focus has to be. And if you can get to be that way here, then the guys embrace being here. They embrace the academy. They embrace the values, and it shows up in how we play. And that's how I want our team to be. And I want everybody to see that when our team plays. And I didn't tell you we're going to win. I've told you that's how our team's going to play. We'll see what happens when the horn goes off. And I think that's the way you have to do it here, because then you capture the players. They know it's what they have to give, what it's all about, and what we have to give together as a group.
Yeah, that sounds like something you can do despite this COVID that's happening and having to wear masks and having to be 6 feet apart all the time. Do you feel that way, that that's just another thing that not to be looking at so much?
I think that's what you have to try to do. That one might be harder, you know what I mean, just because it's there every day. I do think for our players and coaches, the best thing to do is, I heard another coach said something about they don't know if enough attention is being given to, like, the players, this is another school, their mental state. Because these are 18 to 22-year-old kids, you know what I mean? This is so important to them. The education here is so important to them. It's a pillar. Athletics is a pillar here. It's unbelievably important to them. So if we can focus on coming down here and being really good and having that be the only thing that's on our mind, well, then you're not allowing COVID to come into play, even though we know it's going to be. I mean, there's no way. I think, the Wisconsin quarterbacks, or Wisconsin canceled their football game this week, right? It's like, it's going to happen bad. And the thing is you got to be able to know we're going to control the things we can control. That's basically what it comes down to. And we got to be good at that all the time here. We got to have that be like our way of doing business, and obviously we're being taught that, and then we're being taught it with COVID, you know. But those are good. They're good experiences to be able to grow from, I think.
Yeah. Final question I have for you at this point in time is, like, it looks like we're about a month out from actually starting the season. So what do you feel like your team needs to work on between now and then, like 30 days?
Yeah, I think the number one thing, and we've already started to do it, which is why I think we'll see if we're a little further ahead. But we're already working on and talking to our guys and starting to coach. You know, a lot can always be said about, you know, and it can be for anybody, but, you know, oh, what offense are you going to run? What defense are you going to play? You know, all the X and O things, you know, and we're already coaching that. It's not about X's and O's. It's about who's tougher. It's about who's more physical. It's about who's got that hardness and that, like, steel, you know, that steeliness to them, and that's how they play basketball. And when that ball's loose, I'm knocking you over to get it. I'm beating you to it. When we're playing offense and whatever we're doing, I'm beating you. I'm beating my man. There's got to be a physicality to it. There's got to be a nonstop aspect to it. There's got to be a constancy to it. There's got to be an every play to it. And it's got to be on both ends, and we're already coaching that. So we're not really coaching anymore, well, this is what you do. No, we're coaching, this is how you play. The extent that we make improvement in that area over the next month, that's going to be the real answer to exactly where we are. But I like the fact that we're already there, you know, at that point that we're coached, because that is what the game is. The game is who's better at what I just said, who's tougher, who's more physical, who doesn't ever stop, you know what I mean? Who's got the ability to keep playing and keep playing, and then who's got 5 guys playing like that? Not just 1, not just 2. And again, for us, we got to have 5 guys playing like that. We got to have 5 guys on the bench who are like that. We got to have we got to have a group of guys like that. And if we do, we'll be the best we can be.
Joe, Scott, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Good seeing you, Brian.